Good evening, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to you all present here. My name is Sara Batul, and I'll be your host for today's session, along with my co host, Ashma Saeed. So, before we begin, I'll read out a few guidelines which you all are expected to follow. If you have any questions during the session, please type them in the chat box. Our team members will read them out. And please keep yourself muted to maintain the decorum of the event. Now, I would like to call my friend Ashma to introduce our speaker. Ashma, over to you.
Mm. Hello everyone. My name is Arshma Said. The speaker of today's event is Mr. Umang Chauhan, who is currently working as IT project planner at Retailing Tokyo. Uh, I would like Mr. Umang Chauhan to present his presentation.
First of all, let's check. Can everyone hear me or not? And am I visible perfectly?
Yes, you're visible and we can hear
Yeah,
you.
sure. Just let me share the presentation. Hmm. Hmm. Ah, is the presentation visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, just let me start. Okay. So today I'm going to give a presentation. You can just say we'll talk about how to utilize your college years the best, maybe. Mm, how do you define best is up to you. So I think let's start. So I think we'll start with a question for you guys first. I'll answer everything what you have in your mind, and even if any question is there. But first, let me just put a straight coding question or a basic C++ question or any language. It doesn't matter. In every language, the answer would be similar. So basically, this is a code, and you have to guess the output, what the output would be. And I think you can put your messages in the chat. So whoever has the answer, please put it in the message in Google chat or this Meets chat. And then maybe we'll start with the presentation afterwards. Yeah. Well, no one has any even a guess what the answer would be. Okay, I guess 30,
Yes,
not
30.
3.0. It should be 2.
Some of them have given a 20.
Why will it be 20? 30 point and 17.0.
Yeah,
Let
30.17.
me add a hint. So basically the percentage dot 17, what it does is a format specifier. So when you are going to print anything and add this, it will give you a 17 decimal of precision, you can say. In any language it would be similar to this. So let me tell you, the answer would not be 30.17 zeros. Yeah, so basically the answer is not exactly 30, and it's like it will have some precision error. Why will it have a precision error? So basically this would be the answer. Can you see the answer, everyone?
Yes,
Basically
yes.
you are adding 0.2 plus 0.1, which is 0.3, and multiplying it with 100. So the answer would be 30.0001192 something something something. In any language you try, Python, Java, this would be the error it will cause. Why is it so? If anyone knows, that is awesome. You have done a lot. Maybe this presentation is not for you. You are too into coding. You can leave this meeting for if you know this. So if you don't know, like you have to do a lot of new things. I also just got to know this part of coding recently, like this part of error. I didn't do much of competitive programming in my college days. Yeah, so whatever answers you have. So this is just a basic starter for you guys, that even if you know basics of C++, you can't really just give an answer that this would be the answer, 30.000 would be the answer, because there are so many hidden things or maybe some quirks that you would definitely miss in your like learning, because everyone cannot know full C++, or maybe although this is just a basic part, you would know this if you have done some computer programming, or you have like faced this in your life, or even seen this type of presentation or a video. But it's just to show you that you cannot learn everything, and it's impossible to know everything what is there to like learn in C++ or DS algo or competitive programming. Let's go on to the next, what about me. So I just like wanted to tell you brief about me, like why you should listen to me, why whatever I say is return zero is absent. It does not cause any error. Like it will not crash the code at all. If you want, you can ask in the end of the question whatever questions you have about this code. But it's a perfectly fine working code, and even if you add anything in the starting or end, the answer would be same. About me, I'm working in Tokyo right now in Japan. I'm like working in fast retailing, which is basically the parent brand of a very famous clothing brand, Uniqlo, which just surpassed Zara and H&M recently in becoming world number one in clothing. So you can imagine the scale of the company. It's like number one in clothing, and clothing is a very big market, and like there's a lot of money in that. Like believe me, it's there. Second, I did an internship in Tata Communication, which was not TCS, it was TCL. It's different than that. Then I was ex-vice president in entrepreneurship cell. Why do I mention this? Because I want you to know that I have been in non-tech as well. I believe you think is how does one get there? Yeah, sure. Let's get on to that. I am a DTU alumni, member of something something council. I am not even sure what is this, but I am there, and I'm a YouTuber at GetSays. Some achievements in YouTube, you can say. So my first point that I want to make is, why do you want to optimize your college life? Like it's an amazing time. You should enjoy, you should entertain yourself, you should just waste time. But why do you want to optimize? So first, competition. There is a lot of competition itne sare, because like there are so many numbers of engineers coming out every year, and you see them fail because success stories are very less, and like fail stories, or you can say people who have failed, are a lot if you see in your like general everyday life. And need of life second, because you need a job. That's the end goal of doing engineering. I think like most of the people get into engineering to get a job, get a salary. So basically it's a need of life. And without optimizing, I think your life would also not get optimized in the end. Third, pressure of society. Obviously everyone has that pressure that you have to get a job after 4 years and have a good package, a decent package, and not be like not in the lowest term of companies, and some people maybe just get a job. And fourth, who have no idea, they're just doing whatever the flow of life is taking them to, and the parents are taking them to, or their friends are taking them to. But in all sense, you should optimize your life. You should optimize the entertainment as well, the fun part as well, and the coding or maybe the studies part as well. Let's go on to the next slide. So let's talk basics. So need a job or want to know IT. So like whenever I talk to someone, a college student, maybe a cousin of mine who is doing engineering, I ask them this question: what do you want to do? Need a job, just basically get a job, get a salary, or do you want to know what IT is, want to know what development is, want to know what like full data structure, algorithm, database, system design, everything? Do you want to know what the intricacies of this whole IT thing is, or do you just need a job? So if you need a job, it's easy. So basically you have these, I just made it roughly, like there are these type of jobs you can get: a software developer job, which has these salaries from 10 lakh to 1 crore, even more than that. But like I'll remove that extra part. Then DevOps, testing, support, which has a little lower package, but the life is easier. I'm telling you, the higher the package, the life is more difficult there. Then mass recruitment, analyst, business analyst jobs, which like these firms hire, and then data science, MLAI, game dev. So the problem here comes for like maybe the first year and second year students. Do you want to go to a specialized field like data science, MLAI, game dev, or do you just want to stick to the basic mainstream careers of software development, engineering? That is what you have to think for yourself. No one can guide you on that. And I think you should do what you want to do. and not look out this on the salaries and like what type of companies or name of the companies are. Then my second question is always, what is the IT target? Like if you want to know IT, how much do you know, like before starting engineering? Do you know your computer or laptop? Like have you like opened it, or maybe software wise tried to tweak changes into it which are not normal? Know your mobile, like have you tried to like break your mobile software wise as well if you want to be a software developer? Then the third point, do you know how social media works? Like you are using social media, Instagram, Facebook, but do you ever think that what servers are being used, or how are they managing such a lot of data, lot of networking and everything? Then the fourth question, you are in a university or a college, you have websites, you have servers. Do you ever think that how they are being run? Have you ever asked your like maybe the IT professors or something like that? So like you would have that knowledge, but it would only come after you have some curiosity around it. All this helps. How does it help? Like I know everyone wants to know DS algo, how to do DS algo, how many questions should I do, are these 500 questions enough, are these 300 questions enough, which sheet should I follow for coding questions? But at the end of the day, even if you do those 500 questions, there's a lot of chance that you would never get a good job, just because you don't have that IT curiosity or IT knowledge wanting in your life, that I have to achieve this target, or I have to know what happens in real IT. And it helps, like trust me, if you want to trust me, you can trust me on that, that it helps. Even if you put less time on it, or even not make projects, but you are just doing DS algo, but having a mindset, asking questions to everyone around, do you know everything about IT, is very important. Because at the end of the day, if you are in an interview and you don't know a question, or you cannot solve a coding question, you can always own him if you know the IT about. I am just saying IT. Why? Because you drive your interview. Basically, everyone asks, like, not everyone asks, like, some of the people ask, like, I know coding, but I still fail in the interviews, maybe the HR interviews. Why? Because you don't know how to pass an interview. You might like learn coding, learn DSA, but at the end of the day, like clearing that interview is very important. So if you know the IT, or maybe some of the IT, like how the servers run, or how everything is being run, or maybe how a team works, you would have the confidence to like drive your interview. You can ask questions in an interview that might like make the interviewer feel stuck, that where am I, like it would become an interview for that interviewer, and you would obviously pass it. And then third, no tech stack can beat you. Even if someone asks you a JavaScript question, you will point out something, or maybe have some question for him that will make him think, okay, he doesn't know JavaScript, but he knows what it takes to like make a project, or make a team, or maybe make a system out of it. And then DSA plus is honored to know you. How, like if the interviewer is like on stuck on you with like, he knows the system, he knows system design, or maybe he knows what the real IT part is, or how he thinks about it, then if you solve one question, or even a easiest question, he would think like, it's amazing, like he knows DSA with this, so this guy must be amazing. So basically DSA is honored to know you. That's what I meant by that. Another question is like, do you know how to use your command prompt or terminal properly? Like you can write in chat, yes, I have used it like a lot, and I know how to use it for other things as well. Yes, 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 yes. Like, did you know it before starting coding in college from school days? So it's very important. Like I have heard a lot of people saying that I don't even know how to use a CMD command prompt or a terminal. And like that makes me feel a lot stupid. Like why are you doing coding and like don't even know how to operate your computer on that level? So sometimes people start wrong. Started from C++, basic knowing pointers and storage. So my advice to everyone is start from C++. And if you are not starting from there, there might be some points which you might miss around pointers or maybe storage. Second, see, initially I am telling you all the information that I have. Then we'll move on to every question that you have, or maybe some gyan in my words, like which we can like really relate to. Have you tried developing at least one website app in starting? That would be amazing if you just start an app or a website to just like check, do you know that much, or do you need to learn that? That would help you a lot. Third, fixated on a single company. The most common problem I've seen that people are fixated that I want to go in this company, and they just don't think about any other company. They just like keep asking people questions like what questions come in Amazon, or maybe just like fixing on one company is the worst you can do to your life. So please don't do that. Yeah, Fang thing also, like Fang. It's not the end of the like your journey, or it's not even the starting. There are better companies than Fang that you can target or even achieve. And fourth, know why DSA. Like you are doing DSA, but every day you would like say that why is it important? No one uses DSA in their jobs, and no one uses like creates such types of questions in jobs. But why is it important? Basic answer: companies can't judge you on anything else. They have just this single thing that will judge you on DSA. Just like for engineering, they judge on PCM, which is like a problematic thing for engineering, but it's the only end of the world. Like they cannot judge you on anything else. If they do, they will do some type of like discrimination with anyone around it. So that's the main thing about DSA, and you should like remember it, know it, and you should just like feel it from the heart. Yes, it's important for a company. If they do something else, that would be bad for me as well. So if you like believe in it, DSA, and the process of getting an interview cleared using DSA, you will obviously do good in it. I think the next point, how will you sell yourself? That's very important. Like other things around DSA might someone cover or you might learn, but how would you sell yourself in an interview? It's very important. Know your strong points, obviously. Like if you don't know your strong points, how would you focus on them? Understand the interviewer's need. I think it's the second most important point you can say. You have to like try to learn the mind of that interviewer. If you are answering, is he nodding? Is he like, even if he does not give any answer, is he feeling it inside himself? You can learn from like studying his body language or something like that, and change your answers according to that body language changes or something like that, and that would help a lot. Third, tinker your resume based on confidence. So the important point here is, when you give your resume, what comes to your mind? Like, is it adding to your confidence, or is it adding to your like questioning yourself that he might ask something around this, he might ask something around this project which I don't know fully. So that should be avoided at all cost. The resume should be like a confidence enhancer. When you give him your resume, or he has the resume, he should be like, this is adding to his confidence, and you should be also like feel good about your resume. So that's very important. If you want to remove something from your resume, you should remove, or just gain confidence in that thing. If you have made a project long back and don't know about it, just know, let's just go through it, or maybe just know some important questions regarding it from maybe Geeks for Geeks, or there are a lot of websites for it right now. Then knowledge is power, obviously. Like in any interview, in maybe any part of your life, knowledge is power. Because you cannot solve every problem, can't be an expert in everything, because like it's impossible basically. And more you know, more you own. The point here which I want to make is that the more knowledge or more varied type of knowledge you have, the better chances you have to counter someone's useless question, counter someone's useless coding problem, and like maybe own it somehow. How I would explain, like in the later stages, mainstream needs, what are they? Like, what are you here for? Do you want to know this, that it's DSA is needed, projects are needed, subject theories are needed, and communication skills are needed? Everyone knows that. There's no new information about this, but these are the four things that you should like tick before your interview, that I know all these four things, and then you would like be perfectly ready for that interview. Slow is okay. Nah, I'm just ending this presentation very soon. Like maybe this is the last slide. Yeah. If anyone has that question, that what should be my college year breakup, I just wanted to clear this because I don't want useless questions regarding this. That how I should follow, what should I do in first year, what should I do in second year. Basically, this first year to half of second year should be explore, try, fail, and hate. Like basically, try to do every technology that you can, try every type of development, every type of coding, every type of anything you want to try, you should try in your 1.5 year. And even if you fail, you should try it at least, because maybe it's the main path of your life. Who knows? Second, maybe from if you like a technology, you should fall in love with that tech, know everything about it, try to get every part of knowledge you want on it, and then maybe from the third year decide your future goals, like do you want to go in this, or you're not sure and just want to use that DSA path that everyone is telling you to. And it's okay to like maybe change your paths in third year, so it's not a problem. And then from the third year you should start your proper session of job prep. Why is this okay Google working? So see, there are problems in Google as well, so it's useless. Like you cannot solve every problem. It's useless to think about it that much. And then practice till you succeed in the fourth year. So this was just a brief thing I wanted to tell you. Now we'll just move on to your questions or anything the organizers have to ask, and then like try to motivate you or maybe try to help you gain some real knowledge out of it. This was all the superficial knowledge that everyone is trying to give you on YouTube videos, on sessions like this, and I don't think this knowledge is that helpful, but it's just basic things you should know exactly in your life, so that maybe someone is giving this type of information, so you can let Jack just leave. I don't want this useless information. I know all this, and just like move on with your life. So this all I wanted to just remove it from the session initially. So now we can like move on to the questions or anything you guys have. I'll stop this presentation. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
thank you, Mr. Chauhan. So with that, we will go ahead with the question and answer session. Uh, Audiences can write their questions in the given chat box.
You can call me Umang, by the way. Please don't call me Mr. Chauhan. That would feel very inorganic. So my main point was coming to this type of session is to like firstly know what misconceptions people have in their mind by their questions. Like if someone asks such a stupid question, or maybe a question that he thinks is important but does not know. So like my like whole motivation to coming to such sessions is to know that misconception and clear that out. Yeah, we can move on to the questions.
First question is competitive programming enough for placement? And with that, one more question. With that, does only competitive coding matter for placements?
I think competitive coding does not even matter for placements. It's just a way to teach you DS algo, a way to like practice, a way to make you more efficient in it. I'll just give you an example. Everyone knows about FITG. So there's a IIT JEE advanced exam, which is very difficult. Then there's a FITG internal exam, which is more difficult than it. Same applies here. There's a DSA exam that companies take. Then there's competitive programming, which is more difficult than it. It just helps you gain that knowledge or practice on it. If you are fine with DSA, if you can solve every question there is around DSA on your first try, maybe on your second try, you just don't need competitive programming. If you don't like it, then there are other type of people who like competitive programming as a sport or maybe a competition. There you can like maybe put your whole life into it. No one is stopping you.
Okay. So the next question is, I hate DS Algo. I'm more into data science, development, and management. What is the roadmap?
So my first point would be learn everything there is to know about DSA data science, and find seniors who are there in data science from your college, even from other colleges on LinkedIn maybe, because I know a lot of people who are not in normal SD path, maybe in data science or MLAI, who share on LinkedIn their whole journey and everything. Try to follow them, and then if you don't think that you have made past after maybe third year, you have not gotten there that you would get a job, even after 2.5 years, if you think, you can switch to SD, and it's not that difficult. Even if you hate, you can get into a company and then ask for projects related to data science, and then maybe do some data science type of projects. And if you, in I think after 2.5 years, if you are capable or confident enough around data science, you should pursue it.
Um, how to prepare for placement alongside our college curriculum?
I think college curriculum is not that intruding in like college life. I think it just helps. If you are in computer science, it would obviously help in your subjects and theory. And I don't think anyone studies the whole semester. Like in DTO, we used to like only study in the last week of exam. So I cannot relate to that. But if you have any problem in that, just go to the classes. Just sit in there and don't like think about it much. Just like get the knowledge what the professor is giving and then work on yourself in the extra or the other time.
Can you give us an insight into the interview process of some famous MNCs?
See, if you talk about famous MNCs, they have very basic interview processes. If I talk about basic MNCs, the starting ones, the Amazons, basically, they just want to know your coding capabilities, the question solving capabilities, not even coding capabilities. They'll give you a question. If you solve it, you go into the further round. In the next round, also, they'll ask the same thing. But when you come to a different company, maybe like Visa, in my like experience, which I have, some they would go on your resume and then like nitpick things from it and ask from it and maybe ask questions regarding it. So that is a process that some companies follows. And then you if you talk about Microsoft, there's a different procedure there also. You have to solve questions, it's not something else. But there are different types of rounds. Like if you have heard, like there's a written round where you have to write the code of that question, and that sometimes takes a different skill of like explaining your code or maybe having comments in your code, trying to write it in a better manner, trying to write better variables. So all the companies have these types of rounds as only. I don't think it does not get much different from all these things.
Is
Okay,
DSA
great. Umang, I have one more question for you. Do we really need projects to select in placement for computer science? And if yes, then what kind of projects must be done for placement in computer science?
So there are two aspects around it. First, you don't need projects. You can obviously get a job without projects, but if you have not created a single project that you can show in your resume, then I don't think you are into SD or into coding, and I don't think you would be that good in DSA as well. So because it goes hand in hand. If you are good in DSA, you would have that mindset that I should create something as well. In the 4 years, 4 years is a long time. If you have not got one project in 4 years, that's a problem that you have to solve. Maybe you have a better chance in some other field, because like project is a basic thing. Like it's like you are running a race or being an athletic or some athletic game you are in, and if you don't break records or maybe even don't participate in competitions, so it's just like you have to do it. It's a main part of the whole process. So I think projects should be done. Even if you don't do get a job, please don't tell anyone to not do projects.
Okay. Then currently IEEE is having a 100 days DSA series named Return Zero. In this, the participants are given one DS question on daily basis. So can you tell us how important is DS for our placements, and will participating in such question series help us?
See, data structure is very important. DSA is very important in all the interviews. Even if even in a company like fast retailing, DSA is important for initial steps or initial rounds. And you want like having motivation to do DSA for a year or 6 months is very difficult. If you have some platform like this where you have daily competitions or a person with whom you can do daily coding or ask daily questions to each other, it's amazing that it can like help you build motivation around it.
Okay. Can you guide us on how to start our preparation for competitive programming? Like if we have already completed our first year and in second year we want to start, we are late starter, so how can we do that?
See, first you have to complete DSA. Like I think you can go to competitive programming without DSA. I went into CP without DSA, but like it would help a lot. It would like help you save a lot of time, because I had to even search for how to like initialize vectors in my time of CP, and it was a very bad time. I had wasted a lot of time in that. So first learn DSA, like like whatever the amazing path you have for DSA, you go for it. Be it Lead Code, be it Geeks for Geeks, be it any other website. Even if you want to pay for any course, you can go for it. Just learn DSA, practice some of DSA, and then go on to CP. Try to learn CP concepts from YouTubers, maybe, because now there are a lot of YouTubers who are teaching good content on CP, be it the mathematical concepts, be it how to implement those concepts, and then you can start solving questions. Don't jump onto CP without knowing basic DSA or even intermediate DSA. That would just waste your time, nothing else.
Okay. One more question. Does being a, like you mentioned in your presentation, you were part of many societies of your college, like you were vice president of the entrepreneurship cell.
Mhm.
So, does being in a part of any society during college help us to get placements? Like many of our seniors suggest us to study hard and not take parts in club societies because it simply wastes our time.
See. It does not help you in placements. It helps in communication skills. Just that's my point. Like it would never help you in, like, no interviewer would say that you are a part of entrepreneurship cell. I was also a part, so I'll take you. Or maybe it's a very great society, or maybe entrepreneurship types of societies, or maybe coding societies are very good for college people, and I'll just take you for that. And it won't help much. So it just gives you a part of communication skills, and some, maybe you create a project. So when I was in entrepreneurship cell, before being the vice president, I used to like make some projects, or maybe make some websites for entrepreneurship cell, maybe a ticketing platform or something like that, and that helped me a lot to even add projects to my own. So if you are in a coding society, obviously they would have some projects, of course, I think so. If it's a good society, if it's a useless society, you can leave it, obviously, but it would help in some matter, some way.
Okay. And what are the other options a CSE undergraduate has other than competitive coding? Like if we
See,
don't want, yeah.
so basic question is like, do you want not to do competitive coding or development, or what? Like competitive coding or DSA is just a part, or just a way to just clear the interviews, but you are at the end doing development. So what do you not like, development or CP? It's the point is that if you don't like just competitive programming, just do basic DSA and clear a company. It's possible. It's not that difficult. It's just like, maybe there's more competition nowadays, but if you do it properly, and if you do it diligently, and if you do the questions that are there, company specific questions, you would easily crack the interview. Because I know a lot of competitive programming people who do amazing in CP, but they still could never like clear interviews, or never even clear online coding tests, because they don't know how to solve those coding questions. They know how to do CP. They can even like have those 6-star rating, like come in first 50 of the coding competition, but could never solve the basic questions that were asked in the online round of those companies. So it's more important to know data structures and algorithm. So if you hate CP, just do DSA. If you hate fully the development part as well, and are not willing to just put some extra time for DSA to make your life better in the end, then you can maybe look for data science or MLAI. For them, there are a lot of videos which you can see, like how to start your journey around that. If you want to ask here, you can maybe even ask like how to start that part of your journey. Yeah.
Okay. Then in the chat box, Yash Vaibhav has asked, I have heard about people getting offshore jobs off campus. How do they do it?
See, the point, like the main way I have seen, like I know a lot of people working internationally, is using LinkedIn, because the recruiters are like hunting people basically on LinkedIn, even looking at post or recommended post, and finding that does this person has good projects or a resume, and just directly messaging him from an interview, be it Google, be it Microsoft, be it Japanese companies, be it UK companies. And that helps a lot, because there's no other platform to check out. Maybe a GitHub profile would blow up, but that's a different type of thing. But LinkedIn would obviously help. If you have a good LinkedIn profile, if you have maintained those types of contacts on LinkedIn, are doing and sharing those types of posts, obviously you would get in the eyes of that recruiter, and you would get a call. Other than that, if you have a specific company in your mind, you can directly message their people, maybe email their people, go onto their career page, find emails, email their CEO, CTO, every email you find, just mail them a proper email or a resume of yours, just to explain them that you want to do a job in their company. That's the only part. There's no this website that you can log on to and find international jobs. Even if there is, it's not that good. Yeah.
Okay. Tirth Dalwadi is asking, is DSA required for ML engineer and data science jobs?
See, for data science ops is not required at all. I have known, like, I know people in data science field who have like very less knowledge of DSA. But if you talk about machine learning, obviously there are less jobs. There are like basically there are not no open fresh entries for ML engineers. They want PhDs and everything, or even experienced people. But if you go on to a startup or something like that, obviously startups don't ask DSA directly. So there you can like go around it. But you should do basic DSA, because even in machine learning implementation, data structure algorithm is required in some sense. So you cannot like run away from everything in IT. So basic DSA is still required. Maybe no one would ask you, but it would help in your life.
Okay. Jay is asking how to make project for internship if you are in second year and not have done much development.
Like, don't focus on making a project, focus on learning a skill or a language or a framework, be it Node.js or React. And projects would like become like, how do I say, projects are just a part of that whole cycle. You don't strive to make projects. If you're just striving to make projects, you're not doing it the perfect way. Try to learn a skill, and then you would obviously in that journey come up with some of a great idea and just make it someday.
Okay. Ayaz Ansari is asking, can you elaborate your journey to Japan?
My journey to Japan, I did everything in college possible to like just explore what there is to know. Be it in entrepreneurship cell, I sold even tickets. I did hosted events. I managed like maybe the amounting part of a lot of the society. Created projects in college. Did a lot of internships in college, like knowing the administrative stuff as well, and tried a lot of things that helped me a lot in like gaining knowledge about like various fields. And when you come, like when you go to an international company's interview, they're not hiring you just for your skills. If they just wanted skills, they would hire a third party company or a vendor to make their website for them. They want a wholesome person who knows like maybe bits or pieces of other businesses or maybe other aspects of life as well. So I think the college part helped me a lot in getting like a Japanese company's offer. Other than that, the full story is very long. You can check it out on my channel. I've explained it a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Faizan Chaudhary is asking, there's a lot of bhed chal prevailing in the college environment, which leads to
Hmm.
students fretting about not being able to cope up with fear of missing out, and they end up being jack of all trades, master of none. What are your views on this?
I think jack of all trades is still better than a person or a gissu or maybe a coder who's just into CP or maybe just doing DS algo in his whole life. If you are like, but if you are a jack of all trades, it should be all trades. It just should not be just like, I know C++, Java, Python, and that's it. Or maybe I know HTML, CSS, that's it. I know basic Android, and that's it. It should not be like that. You should be like intermediate in some things, maybe not a master, but intermediate in things, some things. And around bhed chal, if you follow bhed, like it's a matter of your own personality or your own thinking. If you are following bhed chal, obviously you would know, you would go to a company where there is bhed chal, maybe a mass recruitment company like TCS or Infosys. I'm not saying that those are bad, but it's on to your personality. I have seen people who are okay with it, so they are following the bhed chal. And if you're not okay with it, you have to do it yourself. You have to change that yourself. You should not think about other people. If you are thinking about FOMO, then it's still on you. Like, you are thinking it, nobody is making you think that. Even if 100 people are doing a thing, it could be stupid. Even if 100 million people or 50 million people vote for someone, it could be bad, maybe. I'm not saying it's bad. Similarly, if all of your college is doing one type of coding or one type of thing, it might be not for you. You might have better options and you could try that. So it's more of your view, your problem, not someone else's problem. Yeah.
Okay, Sarfraz Alam is asking, can we pursue ML and development both during BTech?
Obviously you could do like see, ML, there are two types of ML. First is knowing ML and implementing ML. Second is going into mathematics. The people who go into mathematics, they wouldn't even care about the development part. And if you are into that implementation of ML, then obviously to implement that machine learning library, which you have learned or which you have known about, you would need some part of development. If you want to implement basic sentiment analysis, even you have to have a front end and a back end, which where your code is stored, where your machine learning algorithm is running. So maybe machine learning algorithm separately is a mathematical concept only, but you go on to implement, you need some development skills. So it's important, basically. Like if you are asking doing side by side, it's important more than that.
Okay, Arya is asking, which is better, web development or Android development? Which type of projects you have made? Do you have any idea?
So recently I made a video around this web development versus Android development, and I tried to put all my thoughts in that. Like I think wrote the script for maybe 3 weeks around this. So it's a very important topic to talk about because um, Android obviously is difficult to show projects, but Android is still then more interesting also because it's in your phone. You don't need internet for that. So main point is website, you can make it easily, you can show it easily, and you can like make it faster. Android development takes time to like reach a level where you can like show ultimate things, but in website development or backend development, you can have so many extra libraries, so many things that would make it very easy and very fast. So it depends on you how much time you have and what is your interest. If you have interest in Android, obviously go for Android. Don't even think that which is better or which is faster. If you have interest in web, go for web, and if you have less time, go for web. So that's, I think, the main
Okay.
point.
Hussain is asking, are internships important or they are more like modern day slavery?
Modern day slavery is a very bad, like very hard word for it. Internships are nice, like even if you're not getting paid, if you're learning something, that internship is worth it. Like because you're doing that internship, basically the whole point is to learn. The point of internship is not to earn money. If you like spending a lot in traveling, obviously you would want some money out of it. They are not important at all. If you have skills, no company would ask about your internship. Maybe they would ask, why didn't you do any internship? But you should have a good answer, like maybe I was developing projects, I was doing this, I was doing that. If you're doing, and if you're not doing anything and now then saying that I didn't even do an internship, I didn't do any projects, this is my resume which is empty, then it would be a problem, obviously. Like why would a company hire you instead of a person who has maybe done an internship, or even if he didn't do an internship, done a project which is vast enough to show that it took 2-3 months. So it's more of, you need a job, you have to think how would you present yourself or sell yourself in that job interview.
Okay, then Tir Talwadi is asking, which country will be worth to invest in? Like for doing MS in ML, is it better if getting better colleges in both US and Japan as well?
See, then it depends entirely on you. What country do you like? Because it would be good in both the ways. Even if you do it in India, somehow you find a university who's like giving an MTech maybe in machine learning, it would be good for your life because everyone has a different trajectory and you don't know how would you end up. Maybe you go to the best colleges in the world, MIT, and even fail there. You could like fail there as well. So it totally depends on you. Go where you would feel like working or learning stuff, because at the end of the day, motivation is really important. You can build motivation using targets, but when you go to that master part of the life, masters and everything, then the motivation will come from your interest more rather than your job aspect or maybe your target in life.
Okay, Shifa is asking, are coding languages important when we really want to go to core mechanical field?
Core mechanical field.
Yes, she might be from other branch.
So I think for a person who's not going into an SD job, coding is not that much important, but I think your Excel skills are very much important if you are going even for an analyst type of profile or something related to it. And then some people think that learning R would give them better aspects regarding it because a lot of companies are using R or maybe languages related to it. But I don't think companies judge you on that because they would expect to teach you all those things. Basic, I would say everyone should know Excel skills, but if you are looking for a company regarding the analyst profiles or something like that, then you can like work on maybe Excel skills and not on a language specifically.
Okay, what are your views on cyber security field?
I think it's a great field, but just like ML, you don't have direct jobs open for everyone or maybe visible to everyone. You can go into bug bounty and everything, but I'm not very sure how they reach that stage because it takes a lot of knowledge or maybe getting to know a lot of things before reaching that point. And there are a lot of scams regarding teaching cybersecurity in this whole world of India education system, where people like give you 2 days of workshop and everything, which does not help you at all. So it depends on you. You can't like think of it as a I think a job plan for you, like I'll study for 4 years, because that would not be very a good option. There are certifications I have talked about in the past in my YouTube videos which help in companies like PwC, where there are cybersecurity profiles directly available for people. But then still it's a matter of interest only. If you go other than SD, it's just matter of interest. If you don't have that much interest, you would never reach that success point. And if you, even if you have basic interest, you would never reach that point where you would like on your own find out answers to questions like these. Because I have not done any specialization in cybersecurity or done any job in cybersecurity, so I can't tell you basic details or what roadmap to follow. But if you do it on your own and have interest, you would have options. You would find people who would know how to reach there, and it would all make sense on its own. And you can't like I would say avoid asking people without cybersecurity knowledge about roadmap on cybersecurity things or any other something like that. Yeah.
Okay, uh, how did you, one more question in the chat box, how did you manage to run a YouTube channel along with Btec?
I started like after I think I got a job and the Corona lockdown started. So basically, I never have managed it with my BTech, but I think it would be easier than managing it with work life, where you have to work on till Monday to Friday till 8 p.m. No, not 8 p.m., 6 p.m. And then like obviously you get tired after a office job, not after a BTech class, after an office job. You do get tired, and that is the thing I'm still like figuring out how to manage.
Okay, what's the Brahmastra for not landing in mass recruitment?
Not settling for a mass recruiter would be the Brahmastra. Yeah.
Okay, uh, if we have any more
let me let
questions,
me let me take a question. Will dating be bad for our career, and if no, any tips on that? So around dating, I think if you find a person who is also interested in growing his or her life till a good level, you can like work it out with dating as well. But like if you can avoid it, avoid it. If you find someone who is like decent enough to make you grow as well, then go for it. There's no one stopping you, and it should not matter that much.
okay, so we have any more questions, you can type them in the chat box. Anyone?
Bhaiya, Bhaiya, can I speak again? Can I speak?
You can't, Shivam, please
Please
mute yourself,
please
Okay,
just
okay.
write your
write in the
questions in
chat box.
chat.
Rashid Hussain is asking, how good is YouTube and what place it belongs to in your life as BTech student?
I think it's amazing if you like are like into sharing your knowledge or into talking. So in even in college, I was very much into talking to strangers or even anyone. I find even any junior, I would like just sit with, like I'll just gather some juniors and sit till 4 a.m. in the morning telling them stories and stuff. And that like gave me a lot of happiness. And I just like transferred it onto YouTube. Obviously on YouTube, people don't would not recognize you because they won't know your personality, because a channel cannot show your personality. So I am just like trying to get on that. You can see Harman Singh, he's doing his Btec with YouTube and he's doing an amazing job. I'm not, I know Triple IT Delhi is difficult in managing anything else other than studies. So if he can do it, anyone can do it.
Uh, Now I think we have covered up with the questions. Now
Hmm.
I would like to call our chairperson, Sarah Batul, for vote of thanks.
Hello. Am I audible? Yes. Thank you, Ashma, for inviting me. I extend a heartful of thanks to our speaker, Mr. Umang Chauhan, who spared his time from busy schedule to grace the event. Today we had an opportunity to get your guidance, and this will surely help us in the future. I would also like to pass my warm thanks to all the audience for their significant presence in the meeting. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And it was a great event, but obviously it's a very official type of setting, so I can't like give that much of information here. You can like check out my channel or maybe a live stream if I do, and ask all these type of questions which you cannot ask in such an official setting. That would be great, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I request HR team to please put in feedback form in the chat box.
Yeah. So okay. Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you, Umang.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Please fill up the feedback form before leaving.
I'm extremely sorry, Shivam. We just missed your question.
Thank you everyone for joining this session, making it successful.